Okay, people, welcome back to another Fwoosh Weekly. As always, I'm Robo, and if things seem rushed a little bit this week, there's been other things going on outside the toy world. But just know that there's a lot of toy news, which I say every week, and that we're going to go through as much as possible. If I miss something, we'll always come back around next week. Monday Fwoosh Live, the next weekly, talking toys. You know how it goes. You know how I am, baby. If it's toys, I'm going to talk about it. Plus, I got this bullshit going on again today. Thank you. Just keep shooting. I'm not doing anything over here. Starting with something that popped up as soon as I posted the weekly last week. I mean, I hit upload, and there it was, in my face. And I thought, wow, dang. Here's our first look at the Boss Fight Studio Popeye figure, looking like he just walked right out of the comic strip. Now, this is a paint master, which means it's a little bit fragile. The paint scrapes a little bit, so don't worry about the elbows and knees. That shouldn't do that in the final product. But the two separate heads look awesome, with the little hair sticking out of the cap. Yeah, that looks cool. When Boss Fight posted this, they said something about, hey, this could be a every Friday thing. So it wouldn't surprise me if they've already posted another Paint Master. If you're interested in that, go ahead, go check them out, come back, I'll be waiting for you. Or, how about this? You could just pause the video. Gotcha. Seems Jada Toys is getting into the Universal Monsters action figure business, which is weird because I've always assumed, at least everything I've seen has been metal statues from them. This veer into the articulated toy lane has me interested in a kind of curiosity killed the cat kind of way. I'll give anything a test drive once. Well, plus they said 6-inch. Did somebody say 6-inch? The designs look generic Universal Monsters, not any specific actor or design, but in a way, I kind of like the genericness. That and having some nifty accessories and the scale in between them. Frankenstein is tall, Dracula and the Creature are mid-size, and then the Bride is smaller. No hard info yet, these are just pictures from a European distributor, and as soon as I know something else, you'll know. Or as soon as you know, I know. That's how it works. Ba-ba-boom. We're all in this together. Oh! Plunderlings. I love these mischievous little bastards. So when Lone Coconut hit me up with Plunder Strong pictures, I fell pointy-eared head over thick, chunky heels. This is just a natural progression of the line. We've seen a hint at another design that I'm sure we'll see pictures of soon, but Plunder Strong takes the Plunderling design and just, they need a big, bulky bruiser, right? I think I read on one of their social media posts that the arm spread, whenever you have the spread out fingers in, it's going to be about a foot. Whew, that's impressive compared to the size of the Plunderlings themselves. The final product will not have the cloth shorts, and they're still working on the ab crunch that seems to be a rubbery piece that when you crunch over, it kind of flexes out and hides as it goes up, and then back and forth and back. But I'm already sold. More to come. Hopefully soon we'll find out how to buy these things, and then more and more and more and more and more. Todd's been on a tear. Too bad retailers keep beating him to the punch. They'll put out some little pictures and then Todd has to come right behind him and show the big reveal. We already had glimpses of the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse, Green Lantern, Hal Jordan versus Dawnbreaker 2-pack, but now we have full-on pretty promotional pictures. Hal's body seems to be complete reuse of John Stewart, but that's okay when you consider it a core uniform. At least that's how I think of it, you know? It still has individual paintwork. You can change up the colors, well, not change up the colors, but the designs of the green and black, but it's still regulation. There's also a variant of the death metal Batman coming that is essentially the same figure, just with more battle damage and then a more torn up cape. My favorite reveal though is the gold label Suit of Sorrows Azrael. I adore, and I don't say that much, but I absolutely adore the standard release of this with the whole red suit, but seeing it in this bright white Templar type color scheme, Even better. That looks fantastic. I do notice that the back of the package, on the face, it has a bigger design in red where it comes up and covers the eyes, but on all the promotional pictures, it's not over the eyes, it's just the nose and mouth. I kind of like the back of the package, and that's not in a, we're not getting that, I'd rather have that. That's just, I don't know, that fits my personal preference a little bit better, but still, looks amazing. Gold label does mean Walmart though, so there's a couple of hurdles. And then just yesterday, Amazon posted up the White Knight Bat Cycle. I'm still warming up to this design, kind of a dustbuster on wheels, but the more I see it and how sleek it is kind of cool, even though some things jump out at me. My initial thought was, it's awful stubby. It's short, and all the pictures show that except for this one, where it seems like you can extend the front out, makes it a little bit leaner and meaner. All the links to these pre-orders are in the description. Touching quickly on this since it's kind of old news, but seeing this makes me even more excited for the McFarlane Toy Spawn line. Plastic Creature Labs on Instagram posted this a few weeks ago, but I'm just now seeing it, and like I said, we get a full-on around the back view of the upcoming Violator from the Spawn line, and I'm down. It's not that original kind of gangly, skinny, scrawny Violator. This is a more modern, muscly take. But still, it's big and monstrous. And we've seen leaked lists and we've seen a couple of pictures. Hopefully these go for pre-order soon because I never got into Spawn before this. I've seen them, but this is going to be my Spawn line. So, Mezco is at it again with their own 1/12 Collective exclusive, but it's less painful than it has been in a while, much like the last few releases of Mezco exclusives. Did that make any sense? That sentence kind of got away from me. Mezco posted up their Hood's Vapor, which looks awesome with all the accessories and the clothing options, and it'll fit right into the Rumble Society. If you're more of a pick and choose kind of guy that wants to take Rumble Society figures and stick them into your Marvel or your DC displays, not so much because of the stylization, but if you're into that, get it. Well, okay, I say go get it. It sold out really quick and we all thought, oh, Mezco exclusive, yay. But they brought it right back and then left the pre-orders open for 2 days, which I'm recording this on Friday. The pre-orders closed today, but I haven't actually checked. There should be a wait list. If you're interested, go jump on that. But it's cool because they seem to be getting a grasp on pre-orders or amounts or something. Either way, it's different than it used to be. Back when you had to be there in the first 30 seconds or you were shit out of luck, right? May all future sales be the same. $112 should come out mid-2022. Preternia on Twitter somehow got pictures of some upcoming Jazwares Fortnite Legendary Series figures, and it looks to be just more fun as hell goodness. We get our first look at Scratch, who seems to be using the 8-ball body, but that's appropriate. It's Fortnite. Different skins, just sometimes color swaps. Scuba Jonesy seems a little bit more generic, but that's okay because, well, it's Jonesy, but he does come with some kick-ass accessories. In fact, I'm just now realizing if you put the mask on, you can use it as some kind of G.I.Joe scuba diver, whether it's G.I.Joe or Cobra, one or the other. Then there's Blackheart. If you got Oro, like I told you to during the review earlier this week, you're gonna need Blackheart to go along with them. Just building up a whole bony crew. It's a skeleton pirate. What else do you need to know? Even if you don't care about Fortnite, and I've said it constantly, I don't care about Fortnite. But good figures are good figures, and Skeleton Pirate. Again. Again, but Skeleton Pirate! I'm guessing these will pop up at one online store somewhere, or the pegs at Target. You never know. And that's part of the mystery. That's part of the fun, actually. What's coming and where and how? Ah, Super 7, I missed you. They missed you. They especially missed me going, Ultimate! You really did miss it, didn't you? One more time. Ultimate! Little secret, though, unless you tune into Monday Foosh Live, where we talked about these the other night, I don't know a thing about SilverHawks. In fact, I know less than nothing about SilverHawks. For some reason, it feels like I was brainwiped of anything SilverHawks related. There's a big old SilverHawks hole in my brain. I don't remember ever watching the cartoon. Okay, I may remember commercials, but even then I think I'm thinking of something else, and it's going over to SilverHawks. I don't remember the toys at the store. I'd never owned a SilverHawks, and I watched Tiger Sharks. So if I watched Thundercats and Tiger Sharks, how did I miss SilverHawks? But going by internet community talk, you either love these or you hate these. Super 7 makes sure to state cartoon accurate in every description here, and I guess that is the fine line of whether you dig them or you don't. With Quicksilver and Steelheart, apparently the original toys were vac metal and oh so shiny, but in the animation, they were more matte, dull gray. And for Buzzsaw, the original figure was green. This one's yellow, again based on the cartoon itself. And then Monstar seems pretty close in both sheen and shine for the toys and the cartoons, so they get kind of a pass. Plus, this is an 11-inch figure, so he's going to tower over all the rest of them. But with bigger size comes bigger price, which I guess is true for a lot of things. Monstar is $85, the rest are $55. Basically, you're going to have to decide for yourself here. If you like the looks, here you go. You get some SilverHawk figures for your shelf. If not, these aren't for you. I mean, it's pretty simple. Then we get into a few teases, and since we're talking Super 7, we might as well talk about this picture. Now, I'm guessing this is a response to the G.I. Joe reaction line getting leaked out online, but it's also possible that we may see G.I. Joe Ultimate! Which should be cool, especially if you like the Super 7 style, whether it be reaction or... But for all you miserable bastards out there just gnashing teeth because these may or may not exist, oh, you need a hug. Come here. Come here. It's been too long. These aren't meant to take the place of your classifieds or your Mezco, and if you don't buy reaction, you just continue to not buy reaction because somebody's buying them, right? I don't like Funko, but I see them and I pass on by. It does not matter to my life at all. And I'm saying this without actually knowing any hard evidence or seeing an ounce of prototype here. That is just crazy. These exist and they don't cater to my specific wants and needs. Like I said, come here. But NECA can tease too because they posted a picture of this gremlin head with a ski mask on. We don't know how this is going to be released, full figure or accessory with something else, accessory pack, don't know, unless they've already said, and I missed it, in which case, tune in for the next Foosh Weekly. This tease popped up in my socials a minute ago, and it looks like Blitzway and 5 Pro, who made that kick-ass Inspector Gadget a few months back, they're getting in the Voltron game. All we have is this picture and the words, action figure. Why did I have to look down to remember that? Action figure. What do we talk about here? Action figure makes me think joints and everything, and you can kind of see elbows, but they also say non-scale. That's right, I had to look down for 4 words. Action figure and non-scale. 3 of those words I've probably said a million times on this channel. So we don't even know a size here. More info as it comes along. Or, well, it does have a date of next month. So I guess we'll find out next month. Then there's Sentinel. Up until a couple of hours ago, all we had was a tease of their SV Action Peter Parker, but now we have leaked pictures, so we know a little bit more. In the tease, it said Peter Parker, which had me interested because we have a MAFEX Peter B. Parker that I am completely satisfied with. But the thought of getting Peter Parker with the blonde hair and thinner frame, it had me hooked. With the leaked pictures, we now know that there are option parts to make both Peter Parker and Peter B. Parker. The brown-haired Peter B. Parker heads seem very expressive and frame-specific, almost like they were trying to do something different than the MAFEX and Marvel Legends releases. But when it comes to the blonde Peter Parker head, it's more neutral and generic, and I don't mean generic in a bad way. It's a good-looking head, but he's just kind of smiling, you know? Lots of hands and webs, a newspaper, and instead of giving us clothing options where you can mismatch the shoes or the jacket, the sweats, they give us a big old gargoyle head. Again, I think they're trying to differentiate themselves from the other company offerings. I passed on the Sentinel Miles because I'm completely good with the MAFEX Miles, even though I'm hearing good things about the SV Action Miles. And I love the MAFEX Peter B. Parker, but they did just enough things different here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get this right. But even if you're not into the unmasked heads, it still looks like a kick-ass basic Spider-Man. And I think a lot of people will be into it for that. Sentinel likes their short necks, though. That's one thing I noticed with Miles and Peter. Speaking of MAFEX and teases that are now fully revealed, last week we got a little glimpse of an unmasked Tony Stark head and then a nano gauntlet. Was it going to be a new figure set to release after the already solicited Avengers Endgame Mark 85? Was it going to be added to the pre-existing pre-order? Would the date change because of this? Or are we getting this because of a date change we didn't know about at the time? 2 of those things. Medicom added more than expected, though. We got the unmasked head that even reaches down onto the neck, so that's an option piece too. But then there's also an unmasked Tony Stark head where it's just the faceplate. Then on top of getting a nano gauntlet hand and forearm, there's also another one that's sculpted to be snapping. With that, the date was pushed back. The official Medicom site says August, but then AmiAmi and Hobby Link Japan state October. And when it comes to MAFEX, we know to just, whenever it comes out, we'll be waiting. It's an odd move that we haven't seen a lot from Medicom, but I'm not griping. In fact, I had skipped on this originally because I didn't need another Iron Man in my collection. But with all these options and the fact that they did not raise the price over the original pre-order price of $115, I had to jump in. I mean, that was too tempting. But since that's no longer a tease, they had to give us another tease today with the Medicom MAFEX Avengers Endgame Captain Marvel. If time frame sticks, we should know more about this next week. Finishing up the weekly in true Hasbro fashion, it wouldn't be a weekly in 2021 without Marvel Legends reveals, right? Oh my god, there's so much coming out. Early in the week, we saw Agent Mobius from the Disney Plus series Loki. Yes, dude in suit, but it's Owen Wilson in suit. Wow. The initial pictures had us questioning the likeness, but as we got more higher res pictures, I could see it. I mean, yeah, it's not perfect, and I'm not used to seeing Owen Wilson in gray hair. I'm more content with the likeness. The jacket was also throwing me off because, well, one, I don't know suits, and two, I don't know MCU specific suits. So when I saw the collar thing, I thought they didn't glue the collar on. They got the trench for it, but there's no collar on top. But then I went and looked at pictures from the show, and yeah, it's a weird thing. Then Tuesday, MCU Collector 24 over on his YouTube channel showed us Compound Hulk. It's cool that the Hasbro Marvel team is still doing reveals like this because it just gives another outlet. They're using everything they got. I've seen this character before, but I have no attachment. And even though I'm not interested in it, I'm happy for everybody that was looking for this. Apparently this goes with Xemnu. That's where he appeared in the comics, and hopefully it gets us an Impossible Man later down the line. But that's the beautiful thing about these two releases. They're not, like I said, dude in suit, a Hulk that appeared maybe an issue or two, not in high demand, so they made them exclusive. Mobius is at Target, Hulk is at Walmart. The perfect kind of exclusive. If you want it, it's there. If you don't want it, it's an exclusive. It's out. It's not in the main line. You don't have to buy everything. But I still saw gripes about it. Would you rather they put high-profile main characters as exclusives? Well, they'd still get backlash for that too. It can't win either way. Mobius is still available on Target.com for pre-order, which again, it's a good thing. That's the character that you want in that position, while Hulk will be solicited during Walmart's upcoming Collector Con. Oh man, Ghostbusters. With 2020 being 2020 and the movie getting pushed back, it seems like Ghostbusters line just lost all its steam. I like the figures. They may be a little bit small, but the sculpts were pretty good. Oh, just a victim of bad timing. Plus, we had just seen the 4 original Ghostbusters from several different companies beforehand, so doing that again, it just seemed kind of like too much icing on the cake. You get to that certain point where you're like, no more icing. And with the new Ghostbusters movie still not released, they're just kind of treading water. They're waiting for that time to hit, and hopefully it does good, brings focus back on Ghostbusters. But until then, it seems like it's just going to be repaints and redos. Here are glow-in-the-dark, slimed versions of those first 4 figures. Now, these are digital renders. I'm hoping that the likenesses come out a little closer to this, like there's some kind of upgrade to them, but I never cared much for the slime, and even though all 4 come with the streams, they're in a green color. But they come with streams, so that's progress, I guess. I don't know, I feel bad for that team, but they can't show anything new until the new stuff actually hits. In a perfect world, ooh, I'd even go for real Ghostbusters, like in between. They could do the 4 originals, but in a different style. Whole lot of wish listing here. Links to pre-orders are in the description. Since I don't know Power Rangers, and you all know this, I'm just gonna barely touch on today's Hasbro Power Rangers live stream, where they revealed some more Pink Ranger stuff. They are re-releasing the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Pink Ranger, but with cell shading, and I don't know what it is about cell shading. They got me with the Transformers. They're gonna get me with the Power Rangers. I liked the metallic redos, but I ended up skipping on them because, you know, so much stuff, but cell shading, if they do the whole team, Will they? Will they? I need to see this in person. I've just always loved this kind of paintwork where it makes a 3D figure look 2D. Then there's also the Pink Ranger 2-pack. Again, I don't know these characters. I don't know what is reuse here, what's reissue, but both of these are GameStop exclusives. So if you already have this stuff, again, it's exclusive, it's out of the way. It won't be in the way of anywhere else. But if you are interested in this, get your ass to GameStop, because pre-orders should be up right now. But going back to the middle of the week, to the Hasbro Star Wars Fan First Wednesday, oh, there's more butter for my bread. They started off with the next archive wave, which is, and always has been, reissues of older figures with updated photoreal to the faces where appropriate. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not so good, but I will say, even though this is the third time we've seen this Princess Leia, this is the best looking face so far. Now, I'm not saying it's a great looking face, but it is the best looking face we got so far. Next up was Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan, and the photoreal is, again, a slight improvement, but it's still a tiny head on an outdated body. I think they're gonna get this out, and then they're gonna hit us with a completely overhauled Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan, because he's the last one that doesn't look right within the display, you know? Even with the photoreal, you're gonna put him next to the others and go, oh. The archive waves aren't just for updated faces though, they're also for reissued troopers, and if you missed the 501st clone from its original release, which was in a multi-pack I think, that didn't make army building easy, here's another chance at that, and here's another chance to buy multiples. It is the original clone body, so it's going to be hindered in places, but yeah. Finally is Darth Revan, who was originally a GameStop exclusive, I think, and it's been a while since he's been out, so if you missed him, here's another chance at that too. They did state the lightsabers would be more vibrant colors with the red and the purple, so that's kind of neat. Do I need this? I don't think do I? Then they jumped into the long-rumored re-releases of Rogue One, but instead of talking about the old figures, they jumped right into, boom, Bodhi Rook. Not even messing around. This looks great and finally caps off that main Rogue One team that we've been waiting for years. Then they backtracked to the reissues of Jyn and Cassian and K2SO, Chirrut, and Baze. They mentioned that the original release of K2SO had red pupils or something because that's the concept art they got, while this one will have the correct white eyes. But I went back and looked at my original K2SO and it's got white eyes too, so. Also, Baze seems to be missing his right shoulder pad. The slots are there, like it just wasn't put on this one they took pictures of. So hopefully he has the shoulder pad in the final release, and they're not all like this. Still, Baze and Chirrut and Cassian and Jyn, the photoreal is a huge upgrade. Out of all the Black Series figures, it seems like Rogue One got the worst of it when it came to face paint apps. So them coming back around is cool. But if you're not into it, you don't have to worry about them warming pegs or being in the way of something else coming into the stores, because this is fan channel. If you're into it, head to your favorite online retailer like Dorkside Toys, put your pre-order in. If not, yeah. Then, keeping with Rogue One, they announced Antok Merrick and Galen Erso. Both reuse parts of older figures, but there's also new parts and pieces. I mean, it wouldn't be a new character if they didn't change the head, at least. Then they hit us with the Nightmare Phrase Target exclusive. But, again, these are not main characters. These are secondary, tertiary characters. I mean, Merrick showed up how long? Some seconds in the movies? Plus, they're not featured in current media. That movie is 5 years old at this point. Has it been that long? Again, perfect exclusive. That's why they're still in stock right now, because they're not Obi-Wan Kenobi or Anakin Skywalker. Maybe Hasbro's learning. But as much as I like all that, the pipeline reveals where they show us characters that they plan on making, but don't have any kind of prototype for yet, that butters my bread right there. Without pictures of the toys themselves, I'll probably forget all this by next week, but right now, yeah. The Jedi Patrol Trooper is another classic-inspired trooper. Gimme! Bib Fortuna gives us another original trilogy character and someone to keep Jabba company, so I'm down with that too. But then we re-entered Mandalorian country. There ain't no country like Mando country. I'd rather have Mayfeld in something more Mayfeld looking, but I'll also take him in the driver disguise. Gotta think they're either gonna sneak a Din Djarin head in here, or we're going to see a reissue of this with a Din Djarin head later or something. And then the Mayfeld head can be used on the jailbreak body or something. Fennec Shand can pull double duty on your shelf. You know what I mean. No spoilers, but just in case you're behind or something. Nomad Boba Fett is also where I figured they would start when it came to the different looks of Boba Fett, at least in Mando Season 2. But, again, I'm a sucker. I'll take this. Plus, it's Boba Fett. I have faith that they will get to those other looks sometime in the future. It may not be as fast as we want, but hopefully sometime in the future. But really, when it comes down to it, out of all these reveals, as much as I love Original Trilogy, Bib Fortuna, all the other characters, Cobb Vanth really got me. I mean, it's Timothy Olyphant in the Star Wars universe. I need that in plastic form. This is just more bread for my butter. It's getting kind of weird at this point, isn't it? Hopefully we'll find out more about these soon, see actual toy pictures to go along with the pipeline reveal from last live stream of Omega. But they didn't stop there. They also announced that an upcoming HasLab project would be Black Series specific and not a vehicle. Come on, Rancor, come on, Rancor, come on, Rancor, come on, Rancor. And that's it for this week, for the most part. I'm sure I missed something. Again, we'll swing back around if I did. If you're interested in seeing any of these pictures up close without me all... bring it in. Bring it in. Come on. I'll be posting all of those along with links to pre-orders or more information on the Foosh front page Saturday at noon. But if you're impatient, the links are in the description. Since it wasn't new info, it just came out, I didn't talk about the Hasbro G.I.Joe Classified Series Snake Eyes and Timber. But that, being a fan channel, was awesome. I could just go anywhere I wanted online and pre-order it. Done. That's the way we need to do G.I. Joe. But as much as I gripe about the Target exclusive Cobra Island line, was that just last week that I went off on that? It seems this week there are more people finding Major Blood. I'm not saying everybody. I'm not saying it's easy, but it seems more out there than previous Cobra Island figures. Hell, I randomly checked Target.com this week and saw that there were 3 at mine. And mine doesn't get a lot of the exclusives. So yeah, there's a glimmer of hope that Target exclusive doesn't mean unfindable. Between G.I. Joe and the Star Wars stuff and Marvel Legends, they seem to be kind of course correcting, maybe? I'm not saying everything's fixed. I'm not saying it's all rainbows and horseshoes, whatever the hell that means, but it seems to be working in that direction because we all need more rainbows and horseshoes. If you enjoyed this Foosh Weekly, comment, like, subscribe. Much love to the plus. If you're interested in seeing videos early or in a position to help out the channel, patreon.com. But wherever you may be watching this, I'll always catch you on the Foosh. Okay, just throw this out. I rarely talk about anything that's not toy related. That's why you come here. And that's all I want to talk about in public. But if you have family or friends that you don't see as often as you'd like, reach out. Hit them up. See how they're doing. You never know what's going to happen. Stop playing with your toys for a minute and... yeah, because I'm saying this out loud and I'm totally guilty of it. I need to hit up some of my friends. So, yeah.